This is Venkat. I'm creating a web series which is based on a previous old web series named PingGUI TK Inter application. This series is all about creating the same application in the web service format. I'm using FLASK framework to create this web service, and so I'm using Python and FLASK to create a web service that can do the same operation which my previous application TK Inter does. And this is the same thing, but it is created on the HTML pages and a website based application. So it is basically a web service which we can use it from any desktop to accessing using a URL and do the same job like pinging the devices and get the result of get the status or the host names of that IP addresses. So the only difference in this series is it's a web service, and in the previous video it is a standalone service. So basically the operation done by the both applications is same, but it's in the different format. One is in the standalone and this is in the web service. So this web service will be created and then deployed in the remote server. And this series has different parts of videos, and I have created a slide which contains all the parts and what each part is going to cover. If you want to wait for the next video, you can see the content and expect what's going to come in the next part. So yeah. So in the first video, I'm going to create the Flask introduction and directory structure, and also creation of basic Flask application. So these 2 points will be covered in the first part, which is in this video. And in the next part, it is going to be creating HTTP template with the widgets, like create a graphical interface on the web HTTP template, what we need, like, to give the input data, where to put the input data and where to get the output data from. So, and the buttons to do the operation. So this kind of stuff we'll be creating HTTP templates in the second video. And in the next video, we are going to do adding core functionality to the Python code, which we already did in the previous series. So I'm just going to copy and paste the same code, but this time it is going to be a kind of different format. The calling of function is different in each framework. So, and in the next part, it is going to be testing application. So after we create the HTTP template and the code main part, we are going to test the application by pinging any IP address we have on the public clouds. And the last is going to be not the last second is going to be to make it very good looking, we are going to add few CSS styles. It's very simple. You'll find them in the Google, whatever the style you want, what color you want to change, and how you want to make the template look good. So it is nothing crazy, it's all predefined structures. So, and the final video is going to be deploying the app in the production environment. Production environment is not the real-time production. It's going to be a lab testing environment, which I use, and this is going to be a KVM, which is a GNS3 network emulator, because GNS3 has been used by many companies to test the networking stuff. Even I use it in my workplace before I deploy it on the real time. So I'm damn sure if it works on the GNS3 emulator, then it should work on the real time also. So there is no doubt that it is going to fail in the production data center environment. So yeah, so the seventh point is going to be the final and closing of the service web series. I'm sorry, and this is it for the introduction. When it comes to the introduction, the directory structure, so the Flask is a micro framework, so which we use it to call the Python function to do the web service HTTP requests and the web service request. So it is going to handle the part of web service activity from the Python side. So you don't have to worry about the rest of the stuff, like how to call the HTML pages, the CSS styles, or the JavaScripts for the animations and other things. So you don't have to worry about them. So everything is handled by the Flask. So Flask is a light framework, and there is one more web framework that is Django, and that's a big complicated and much stable framework. It is a very big and stable framework, but for our application is very tiny, very small. So for this we can use the Flask framework, which is very light and easy to deploy and easy to work. So I'm using Flask to do that. So I hope there is nothing complicated in the Flask, and I hope whoever is watching this series is much aware of the Python code. So if you don't even know, then I will explain you each line, what I'm writing, what I'm typing, what I'm coding. So you don't have to worry about the knowledge on the Python also. So even I do not know before touching this Flask, I don't know how the Flask works, how the code in the code structure in the Flask looks like, and I don't even know what is HTTP page looks like in the backend, or how to write a code in HTML or CSS styles, the JavaScript or the Ajax. All I came to know when I was trying to create this web service very efficient way. So this is this introduction to the Flask from my end. So there may be more information on the website. So this is the main official website for the Flask, flask.pingui.org. Okay, I'm sorry if I spell it wrong, I pronounce it wrong. So this is the main page content. So you can dive this in basic structure of the Flask, how it can display a HTTP page. And so if you go to read the documentation, you'll have everything what the Flask is and how we can do, how we can code with the Flask and what Flask can do, and all the tutorials, etc. So I will also dive you through this official document when I'm coding in the Flask. So I'll show you whatever the part I'm covering, even referencing to this document. So you know what this document is saying and what we can use from that documentation. That's where I got the information from about the Flask. And coming to the directory structure, so the Flask directory structure is going to look like this. So if you see how we handle the Flask directory, when you create a main folder for your project, that's going to be the main directory, and then in the main directory we have main.py, which is going to be the main Python code file that handles all the requests. So it is going to call the functions, or they call the file sub functions, or like this Python pages, and it is going to handle it. In the same main directory we create multiple subdirectories, which is to create the web templates and other things. So these subdirectories are going to be, to create the HTML pages we need one folder named templates that is predefined. You cannot change the template name because the Flask cannot find where the template is located if you change the name, because the Flask only knows to find templates in the templates subdirectory, not any other folders. And you can create all your HTML pages under the template subdirectory, and all the HTML content pages should be in the templates directory itself, not in any other directories, because as I said, it only looks onto the HTML request from the templates directory. And coming to this here, if you want to add some styles like CSS styles, so you have to create a subdirectory under the main directory naming static. So under the static, and then and create a subdirectory named static, then add all the CSS files to that static subdirectory. So I hope this looks really clean and neat. So I hope you don't have any confusions on the tree structure of the Flask. So this is the tree structure of the Flask. This is how our application tree structure is also going to look like. Now let's start coding it, and I will show you a minimal Flask application, what's the initial hello world, the basic Flask website, how we can create a basic Flask website. So I have created a folder named FLASK PingWeb. There are no files or directories under the main directories. First, let's start with the application on the Flask and see how the Flask behaves. I'm naming my main Python code as .py. .py. Before you start using Flask, you got to import the Flask library onto a virtual environment. The basic command to install the Flask is pip install Flask, and it should install the version on the terminal. So I'm not going to show you that. Hope you guys know how to install the libraries, external libraries. So this is the basic Flask structure. We have imported the Flask app equals Flask, and they give the name. The route helps you to point the HTML page to where it should be pointed out, and it has pointed to the self directory self, so which is defined with to show hey there information on that. Just print hey there on the page. And the if name equals main, this says if there is any error during the application running process, and it displays the error. Debug equals true, which turns like debug mode is on, so if you have any errors, it shows where the error is, and so by that we can find a solution to that. And so let's run the code. The Python run, see, and here you go. So it did display the message what we want. Hey there, http /127.0.0.1 5000 is the port that it uses to do it. We got the result, and this is what the basic application is. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to create the templates and the other tree structure also. Let's create the tree structure now itself, and then we can continue later on in the next series. So as I said, for the Flask, we have a defined tree structure. That is, if you want to create templates, custom templates, so create a folder named and if you want to create the custom CSS files, you got to create. If you see the static is under the templates, which is not correct, so I'm going to delete. Now select this. Static. See, you can see this symbol where it is under the main folder, not under the templates. Under the main flask ping directory, there is one file which is .py, which is this. This is the end of this video, and we have few more videos coming up in this series. And thank you for watching. See you next time. Take care. Bye bye. Signing off.